Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Easy Like Sunday Morning Podcast. I am your host, Charles Watson, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend this Sunday. Man, it is hot out there, isn't it? Woo! We're headed to the beach today. We're taking the little puppy to the beach, so we are pretty excited about that. This is going to be his first time going to the beach, so we'll see how that turns out. I've read some articles and stuff recently about dogs drinking salt water, so I'm kind of concerned about that. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Welcome, like I said, to the Easy Like Sunday Morning Podcast. And this weekend, guys, I just want to talk to you guys about the best ways to improve organic reach across the top 5 social media platforms. You know, a couple weeks ago, this organization called Social Media Examiner released the state of digital marketing for the first half of 2019, and there is a lot of great and useful information there, and they've just kind of compiled the top 5 questions that online and digital marketers have had to the halfway point here in 2019. So I've just been digesting that report and looking at it, and I'm trying to answer those questions and just kind of produce content around that. So the third most popular question was, what are the best ways to improve organic reach? And you know, guys, I mean, when it comes to online marketing and content, it's no surprise that the number one thing that fuels business growth, fuels reach, drives sales, increases cash flow, is traffic. I mean, without traffic to your brand, without traffic to your website, without traffic to your social media channels, you just really can't grow, you can't scale, and most importantly, you can't monetize your business or brand. You know, it doesn't matter if you have great content, it doesn't matter if you have fancy conversion funnels, and it really doesn't matter if you have all the freebies in the world. If nobody's there looking at it, if you don't have eyeballs on your brand and products, it really doesn't matter. You know, today search engine and social media traffic is more competitive than ever, even in like the little micro niches. And it's really important as an entrepreneur and a small business owner that you really position your content so that these search engines and these social media platforms actually work towards serving your content to your target audience. And the trend in 2019, according to the Social Media Examiner report that they published, you know, organic traffic has been on a sharp decline because these social media platforms are raking in the cash from advertising. It is a boom, and they are making billions of dollars in advertising. So they're really putting restrictions and they're really putting restraint on organic reach. They're kind of crushing organic reach. In fact, in that report, 85% of the social media marketers that they researched reported that in the first half of 2019, less than 6% of their audience was seeing the content that they were posting on their social media platforms. This is Facebook, this is Instagram, this is YouTube, this is Twitter, this is LinkedIn. You know, and this really represents a huge decline in the amount of traffic that's being driven to businesses and brands. These social media sites really want you to pay, and paid advertising and strategic content marketing are really getting popular. That's why I've been experimenting on advertising platforms, trying to maximize the most exposure for the minimum dollars. You know, as social media platforms squeeze the organic reach to boost their profits, having a solid content strategy today is more important than ever before. So you might be asking yourself, how do you position your business or brand to improve your organic reach on these major social platforms and in the search engines? Well, don't worry, guys. I've got 3 easy to follow tips that are going to help you stay ahead of the curve. Tip number 1 I have for you guys is build your presence and your authority. And I've said this before, when you build your presence on social media, it's not about the numbers. It's not about how many followers you have, and it's not about how many likes you have. It's 100% about attracting the right type of audience to your brand, to your business. Your number 1 goal on social media and on your websites and in everything you produce should be positioning yourself as a key person of influence in your niche or your market space so that you can command your audience to action. Attracting an audience that is genuinely interested in your business, guys, it's going to drive higher engagement, it's going to increase share rates, and it's going to increase conversions. This type of engagement will also trigger the social media algorithms and search engines like Google and Bing to serve your content to more people who have similar interests. The more relevant your content is to your specific audience, the greater chance you're going to have of showing up in your prospects' news feeds and their search results. So keep that in mind. Position yourself as a key person of influence in your market. Tip number 2, and this is what it all kind of rides on, especially building content strategies for long term and looking to monetize your content strategies so that your content is always producing income for you. It's always driving sales. It's always increasing cash flow. This is probably the most important tip out of the 3, and that is you want to publish evergreen content. In fact, I have a whole video on how to publish evergreen content. I'll link that up. Oh, I'll put it over here. I'll link that up in the card up here. Just check that out when this video goes live on YouTube. But guys, you really need to be strategic when it comes to your content strategy. Don't just post to post. All of your content across the top 5 social media platforms, they need to work together to work for you in achieving your ultimate goal, which is build your audience and drive sales. And guys, the best way to do this is by creating evergreen content. Evergreen content is content that is always relative and it is always useful, much like the way that evergreen trees retain their leaves all year round. That's where the term comes from. Interesting and relevant content that does not become dated is necessary in order to be found online by search engines. This type of content helps deliver traffic to your websites and holds a valuable position in rankings for months and even years from when it was first published. Some of the best ways, guys, to produce evergreen content is to answer frequently asked questions, provide industry tips, provide how-to articles, and provide advice from your niche market, from your expertise. Making the effort to create evergreen pieces for your brand or business is going to help you provide your target market with useful content that they can refer back to time and time again. And that's what you want. You don't want your audience, you don't want your prospects to just interact with you, your business, or your brand one time and then be gone and never come back. You want to give your audience a reason to come back. So, evergreen content will have them coming back again and again. And finally, guys, the 3rd tip I have for you is focus on providing real value. At the end of the day, everything comes down to one thing: your return on investment. And as an online marketer, content creator, you really need to make sure that you're working to get the best return for the content that you're producing, whether that is the best return on your time, excuse me, whether that is the best return for a monetary investment, you're looking to get the biggest bang for your buck. You want to be able to look through your analytics and look through everything and show measurable improvement in the things like website traffic, lead generation, purchases, right? Sales and engagement. So the numbers really don't matter if your audience isn't acting. Every platform has the goal of improving the user experience to serve more of what they're interested in so that they engage in the medium. You know, the platforms are going to serve your prospects and your customers content that they're actively looking for and content that they're engaging in. If they're not engaging in your content, the social media platforms and these algorithms really have no reason to serve your content. And the reason for that is because consumer behavior in 2019 has really evolved over the last couple years. Today's consumer, they no longer want to deal with like blatant advertising attempts and poorly designed websites. I mean, think about it. Do you want to deal with that? How many times do you just blast past an ad? You have to realize that your customers, your potential prospects, and the people that you're trying to reach out to on these platforms and on the internet, they use these platforms exactly like you do. So if you find something that catches your attention, really take a look at that and try to figure out, hey, what was it about this piece of content that made me stop and made me read? You know, I mean, they use the platforms just like you guys do. So remember that, you know, the content strategy that you guys focus on needs to, it needs to provide great value and it needs to build meaningful relationships. If you can help your audience solve a problem, if you can encourage your audience to engage, if you can share personal stories of triumph, and give your audience a clear call to action in the content you create, then you are on your way to providing real value for your audience. You know, like I said, this strategy will give your customers a reason to engage with your business or brand, and it also tugs at their emotional heartstrings, which is what you need. Sharing, like I said, gave you some topics and some examples there, stories of triumph, giving your audience a reason. People interact with, remember this, people interact with, people engage with, and people buy from brands and businesses that they feel that they have a close relationship with, that they have strong emotional ties with. So you definitely want to use that strategy. Remember, if your target market feels like you are truly interested in their well-being and success, then they're going to return that favor in return. You know, they're going to return that by being loyal and committed champions of your brand. Well, in closing, guys, focusing on these three strategies are going to help you stay relevant in the organic reach game and position your brand or business as the go-to authority in your market space. Not only are you going to be on your way to improving your organic reach by following these 3 tips, but you're going to be more skilled at navigating the ever-changing landscape of digital marketing. Well, guys, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. We hope you liked it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, please share this video with someone that you think could benefit from the information. Maybe you know somebody that wants to be an influencer. Maybe you know somebody that is struggling getting the word for their business out, growing their new business on social media platforms. We hope that this video serves you well. If you like this, guys, we've got so much more on our website, expertinfluenceracademy.com. We invite you to check it out. We have the archive for the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast. We have our blog posts that are full and of information, tips and tricks on how to monetize, how to position, package, promote, partner, and monetize your content across the top 5 social media platforms. And if you sign up for our email list, we have a new free guide. It's the social media image size blueprint, where we did a great job of putting together all the specs and technical terms that you need in order to make yourself look good on these social media platforms. Guys, once again, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.